Hey guys, welcome to Vlogmas day 24. It is Christmas Eve, and while this would probably be the better subject for the last video that I would do in the series, I'm going to do it now because I wanted to talk about a specific thing tomorrow. And this kind of gives a hint that I am going to be ending my Vlogmas series on Christmas Day. People tend to do one of two things with Vlogmas: either end it on Christmas Day, as it's Christmas vlogging Vlogmas, or some people end up going till the end of the month. I originally intended to go till the end of the month, but in complete honesty, I am very low on things to talk about. So it turns out there's some things that I could bring up, and there's some things that I might be able to think of on the day in terms of like how I'm feeling, or if there's a particular subject that's kind of come to mind. But in terms of like pre-planning things to talk about, I still have like one or two things, maybe three, that I have thought about before that I could bring up. But it's been for some of them there's a bit more pre-planning of getting things recorded and things like that. So it's a timing issue, and also I wouldn't want to do the thing of going, right, I'm going to do it to the end of the month, and then find out that I don't actually think of anything else, and I only have like 2 days worth of things to talk about, and then I've got the other days to try and pad out with something. So I'm going to end it tomorrow, Christmas Day, and the subject for this video, as such, I want it to be a look back on my thoughts on the Vlogmas experience. Bear in mind when I say about missing, not having enough to talk about for the rest of the month, bear in mind I've missed 2 days. One of those I would have had something to talk about, but I end up talking about it the day after, and that being my kind of mental state and just generally feeling too low and not being able to get like the motivation to do anything. In terms of that, by the way, you'll probably be able to tell that I'm not in so much of a funk at the moment than I was when I recorded that video. I still have issues with it. It's kind of an underlying thing at all times anyway. It's just in terms of whether or not I'm letting it like overtake my main, not my main emotional state, but you may or may not get what I'm on about. It's kind of hard to say. But yeah, I am feeling better than I was then. Not completely gone away, but the fact that it's better is a good thing. And I do think the fact that when I was able to talk about it for the video, I do think that helped. And that comes back around to what I was saying at the time of it's good for people to air out these things, let others know how they're feeling. And it can make you feel better yourself for getting it off your chest. And I do think saying, like, talking it out for the video really did help. So thank you for that. But yeah, looking back on this thing in general, it wasn't what I expected it to be. I really expected myself to have more to say. Which comes back to the other vlog of the life of a boring man. That I thought I'd be able to think of more things to talk, like more topics to talk about. And there's a lot of things that I could probably talk about, but they'd all be on very similar subjects. If that makes sense. I don't know, but yeah, it's not exactly how I expected, but I really quite like doing this kind of thing of like just not venting, but kind of ranting and, like I say, getting things off my chest and just kind of giving my point of view and my opinion on certain things. I would have really liked to have done more in terms of say like go to a place and show off something, which I think is what a lot of like full-time vloggers aim to do. And again, they have the means and the reasoning behind doing such a thing. They're doing it full-time, but it just happens to be that I haven't had anything on. The only thing I had on was going and getting my tattoo, but I didn't feel comfortable then, like shoving a camera in the tattoo artist's face, and I hadn't prearranged it with her or anything, so that was the only thing I really had going on outside of my normal routine. But it would have been nice to have been able to have arranged some stuff. It just happened to be that I wasn't able to, or didn't have the time, sadly. My thoughts on whether or not I'll do this again, I really don't know, to be honest. When I decided that I was going to talk about this today, straight away my head just kind of went, well, you're going to say that you're not going to do it again. Because I think with that, it was the thought that I have struggled some days to find things to say, and maybe this is a kind of a look on how I feel about myself in general, but I kind of feel like I failed at this. So being able to do it again, where I've already talked about stuff, I'm really not sure. Right now, I think I would say that I probably won't be doing this next year, but I'm going to leave it a bit open-ended because who knows what the year's going to bring. There might be a lot of things that happen that give me lots more to offer my opinion about, or to talk about, of like, I could start doing something completely different as a hobby or as a career or whatever, and maybe I'll want to gush all about that. Or there may be kind of social things that happen, or political. I don't like to get political, but there may be political things that I really want to suddenly talk about. Or there might just be the same things that I've spoke about this time that I have different feelings on, or I just have more to add. We'll have to see closer to the time. I think if I do it, I'll want to go into it with a bit more planning. As mentioned before, this year it was kind of a last minute thing of going, oh yeah, I was going to do that, and I just kind of jumped into it. One thing that I would do if I did it again is record a day prior to when the video is actually going to go out. I didn't actually want to do that because I thought it keeps it a bit fresher to go, right, this is day one, recorded on day 1 or the 1st of December. So I wanted to do that, but that's why pretty much all of these videos have gone up at sometime between midnight and 2 the following day, UK time. So I probably would do it like recording a day before if I did it again next year. But like I say, I still quite like doing this kind of thing. After Vlogmas finishes, so after tomorrow, the plan for the channel is to kind of go back to the way it was before Halloween, and that being a concentration on doing the cover songs. I actually get those back out, because I think I've released one cover song since September, I think, something like that. So I want to carry on doing that. I want to get back into the kind of motivation I had at the end of October to work on original material as well, but that's been a running theme for like 2 years now. And I don't know about anything else. One of the things that this has kind of given me is that I didn't expect to have like hundreds of people watching, but because I know this is like a deadline I've given to myself, like I have chosen to do this every day, and it's been a struggle around everything else. I kind of hope that it's put it in my head that I can just take my time. I've got no one demanding things from me. I know that there are a very small few people who seem to enjoy the stuff that I put out, and there's been the focus on like doing musical stuff. So while I'm sure that the more frequently I can do it, the better it would be for those who do want to watch, and that I would enjoy doing that. But I don't want to be pushing myself all the time, and I want to try and go easier on myself, because I feel guilty when I don't meet these imaginary deadlines that I've been putting in my head. So I want myself to learn that it's okay to just take my time. No one else is demanding certain things from me. So if I can get things out quickly, then great. If not, then I can just take my time and make sure it's something that I really like and that it's done properly. So that's the hope. But everything I've done since being on YouTube may prove that it will go the other way, because ever since starting YouTube, it was the idea back when I was doing gaming of this will just be a casual thing that I'll do for a laugh, and then it has been a laugh, but it's also been a bit stressful because I've straight away gone, oh my god, I need to do this, get this one out on this day, this many times a week, or whatever. So we'll see. But in terms of other content other than the cover song stuff, again, I would like to do like showing off gear and things like that, but I want to make sure I do it in a way that is interesting to me, is like a kind of video that I would like to watch. And that may just be a thing like I've done in the past of I will just sit there and show off the piece of gear, or it might be that I'll try and do something a bit more interesting. We'll see. It depends on what I can think of doing with the piece of gear in particular when those things come about. Otherwise, I would like to carry on doing this. This is where I'll ask you guys again of how you feel about these kind of vlogs that I've been putting up, and whether or not you'd like to see me carry on doing this, like just speaking my mind about whatever is on my mind at the time, and whether that be something that I do like once a week or every other week or whatever. Although going back to what I was just saying, in theory I should just do it whenever I feel like it feels right to do, rather than beholden myself to a deadline. But let me know if there is an interest at least in me doing something like that, so because it'd help. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. Like I say, I fail. That's basically it. I could just put that as a thumbnail. I fail. Probably not. But anyway, that's my kind of thoughts on how things have gone for this Vlogmas. It's been enjoyable at times, stressful at others, a little sad in others. Again, mostly because of my own head. But there's that. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. There is going to be one more video for this series tomorrow, but I'll say it now, and I probably will say it in that video as well. Thank you if you happen to have watched all of these, or if you've watched more than this one, or even if this is the first one that you've watched. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to me yammer on about whatever. It really is appreciated. So thank you guys very much, and I may see you in another video. Bye bye.